All right, joining us this morning is Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong. Mayor Magalong, good morning to you. Welcome back to Head Start.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning to our viewers. Good
All
morning po
right,
sa inyo.
ano ang naging reaksyon nyo sa mga binanggit ni Pangulong Marcos Jr.?
Well, napakaganda nitong ginagawa niya ngayon at personally talagang tumututok dito sa flood control projects. Ano? At siguro meron siyang strategy. Palalabasin muna natin yung mga contractors muna. Hoping na yung mga contractors talagang i-disclose na nila talaga kung sino yung mga taong behind the scheme or this series of schemes. Alam naman natin kung sino yung mga taong behind that, ano? Mga politiko 'yan. At yung iba sa kanila diyan nandiyan sa Kongreso. To be direct about it.
Oo. Maganda punto nyo kasi ang contractor parang yun lang yung contracted to build the project. Pero yung
Yes.
totoo, yung nagsisingit sa budget, 'di ba? Yung nag-aapela, humihingi ng pondo para sa flood control, kongresista yun. Yun ang sumisingit sa budget nun.
Totoo yan, Karen, ano? Ang sistema kasi is yung Kongreso may dala-dalong ng pera, magdedemand na kagad siya ng kanyang porsyento. Maraming arrangement. Iba-ibang sitwasyon, maraming scheme eh. Gumagaling na nga sila, no? May mga scheme na uh, behind the project, actually ang contractor yung kongresista. Sasabihan na lang niya yung actual na contractor o gagamitin ko na lang yung lisensya mo, 3% lang ang royalty mo. Ha? Pero bibigyan na lang kita ng isang project dito sa distrito ko, bigyan kita ng multipurpose hall para at least meron kang pagkakakitaan. And at the same time, yung DPWH din, may porsyento rin. Pero nagko-complain na rin ng DPWH kasi ang sinasabi ng DPWH, sobra-sobra na rin ang kinukuha ng mga kongregista, mga politiko, nasasacrifice na talaga yung project. Naghahabol ngayon yung contractor kung paano niya pagkakasyahin. Kaya dinadaya niya ngayon yung execution, no? Lalo-lalo na ng mga installation ng mga materyales pagdating sa flood control. Ano? We're talking about flood control lang dito, Karen. Hindi pa yung iba-ibang mga projects na pinagkakakitaan din nila.
Okay. Now, you were actually the first to speak out, right? On the alleged corruption in terms of pagbibigay ng ayuda. We'll go there. Later on, we'll go there. Una ka sa nagsalita nun. I want to show you a graph. This was actually discovered by Navotas Representative Toby Tiangco, and I've been asking guests about it. This is the graph, no? In that particular graph, this is apparently a district. I think this is Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro. I could be corrected on this, but that's what I found out for the 2025 budget. Ang lumalabas dito, isipin mo, yung isa doon sa NEP, 2.5 billion pesos ang DPWH budget niya. Most likely, this is for flood control or other infra. Pero nung dumating na sa GAA, lumobo ito ng 20.9 billion. So it means nadagdagan ng 18.4 billion. Yung distrito lang na yan. What is your take? Do you have an explanation? What are your thoughts?
Alam mo kasi pagdating sa BICAM, konti na lang yung nag-uusap. Ang masama, okay pa yung BICAM eh kasi meron pa mga maaayos doon eh. Ang pinakamahirap dito kung nagkaroon na nung small BICAM. Bali, tatatlo na lang yung nag-uusap dyan. Tapos kukunti na rin ang mga technical people na nandyan. Minsan pinapaalis na nila lahat para silang tatlo na lang siguro at isang pagkakatiwalaan na lang nila to record everything. Doon mo makikita yung horse trading na nangyayari. Kaya if you look at what happened to the 2025, nadagdagan ng 214 billion yung DPWH. No? From the NEP, President's budget, naging 214 billion ang dagdag. Pero tingnan mo yung nangyari do sa DepEd, binawasan ng 11 billion.
12.
Yes. Mga 11 point something. Yeah. So, tapos nakita mo yung DOTR, nabawasan ng 92 billion. Kasi nga ang ginawa nila, may deprioritization. Especially dun sa mga especially dun sa mga foreign funded na project or foreign assisted na project, nilagay nila ngayon sa unprogram. Kaya talagang significant yung reduction. Yung DSWD, I believe, nabawasan ng mga ilan kundi yun. Tapos kung ano-ano pa yung mga binawas. Alam nyo ba na hindi lang lumalabas yan, pati NCIP binawasan ng 400 million. So maraming mga ginawa. Pati yung mga priority na mga MUP, pension, at pati yung 4Ps na very well established yung parameters niyan at yung sistema niyan, talagang significantly from the program, nilagay siya sa unprogram. Kaya deprioritization na naman yan. Pero tingnan mo, isipin mo, gumawa sila ng akap na walang sistema. Nilagay nila yan despite the fact na sinasabi na nga ni Secretary Rex na ayaw ko yung akap na yan. Ininsist pa rin nila yan. Obviously, isa lang ang purpose noon. Unang-una, pagkakaperahan nila. Pangatlo, gagamitin nila sa election. Kaya nga na-label yan as the most corrupt na budget.
Now, Mayor, our legislators, whether they are senators or congressmen, kasi a source tells me, pati senator daw hindi lang congressman, are they parking funds in provinces, right? Like ito, yung dalawang probinsya na yun, no, na allegedly in Mindoro, why would they have 20 billion, 21 billion sa 2025 budget? For DPWH, may nagtanong nga sa akin, anong tinatayo nila dyan? Skyway ba? Diba? Diba? Skyway na ba do they park? Ganun na ba ang racket ngayon? Why do they do this? What's the system?
Alam mo kasi, mismong isang senator ang nagsabi sa akin na, alam mo, Mayor Benji, grabe ang pagbabawas nila sa amin sa Senado. May pa-parking pa sila. Dati-rati raman, wala naman yung parking ngayon. Na yan. Ngayon, may pa-parking. Unang-una, hindi ko nga maintindihan yung parking na yan. Saka ko naintindihan na lang nung nalaman ko na, meron pala. Alam mo kasi, all you have to do is go over the GAA. Makikita mo dun yung nakaranking kasi, nakaranking kasi yung bawat distrito dyan. Kaya makikita mo kagad kung sino yung most privileged na distrito dyan. Pero, ang problema sa mga mambabatas natin, they don't really read yung entire GAA.
Yes.
Ang titingnan lang nila dyan is, ay, nakita ko ba yung distrito ko? Okay yung distrito ko. Okay na. Satisfied na sila dyan. But they don't look at the entire GAA. Babasahin nila yan na maayos. Hindi ganun ang ginagawa. That's the way it was explained to me. They don't really care kung anong may bigay sa ibang lugar. Basta importante lang sa kanila is, distrito ko. Have you been to a budget hearing of the HOR? When you go there, ako ilang beses ako nag-attend yan. Puro parochial concern yan. Puro ako sa amin, puro ganun lang ang hinihingi lahat ng mga yan. Nothing strategic, nothing that would support the national interest. Ang tinitingnan lang nila dyan is para sa akin, para sa distrito. Yan lang.
Oo. Maganda punto niyo, Mayor, kasi sinabi nga ni Senator Sherwin Gatchalian kahapon at ni Congressman Toby Tiangco, ang budget kasi, unang-una, ang kapal-kapal niya, like roughly 7 books, right? So, hindi mo babasahin lahat. Pero what's interesting is I have Congressman Toby Tiangco telling me he was asking for a soft copy. Wala daw soft copy. So how would you change? Because you did say you are willing to lead the probe into the corruption involving legislators and government officials with infra projects. But if you were going to change the system, how would you change it? Para hindi makalusot sa budget.
Well, unang-una siguro dapat yung BICAM maging transparent yan. Kasi yung budget hearing sa level ng executive, naman yan very transparent yan Ang problema natin yung BICAM. Isa yan sa mga kailangan natin tutukan talaga. Kaya nga nag-iingay na kami ngayon Kasi we don't want the same circumstances that will happen for the 2026. Na nung 2025, deliberation ng 2025, tahimik lahat Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Kaya talagang very bold, emboldened yung mga nasa small BICAM to, to do their trade and
Oo.
come up with this, very corrupted na 2025 na budget. This
Oo.
time, we don't want it to happen ditong 2026. Kaya we're now building a coalition. Kami, Mayors for Good Governance, meron pang ang gagawin na Governors for Good Governance, tatayo. Tapos yung National Budget Coalition, yung mga retired generals, pati na rin yung Catholic Bishop of the Philippines, pati na rin yung mga Christian bishops. And marami na kaming ngayon. And we're going to hold a special event sa Metro Manila, hopefully before the end of this year or early next month. Before the end of this month or early next month. Para
Okay.
talagang emphasize namin yan.
Now, what should President Marcos Jr. do? Because he did, in a way, in his SONA, in effect, I would say he warned Congress that if they come up with a budget that's not aligned to his, he would return it. That's one. Mahiya naman kayo, right? That's one. Number two, he comes out with this report, but he talks about the contractors. But at the end of the day, the corruption, the alleged corruption, really started in the House, where his relative is the Speaker. It's the Speaker who has control of the budget. So what do you make of this? Is the President being two-faced? Is he being weak? What should he do more? At the end of the day, galing naman ito sa mababang kapulungan. Kamag-anak niya ang nagpasa ng budget na to sa mababang kapulungan.
Well, yan ang nakakalungkot, Nakakalungkot siya na for the past 3 years tahimik lang ating presidente. Pero siguro nakita niya na he has to leave a legacy. And that's the opportunity is for the next 3 years. Siguro naisip na rin niya na talagang someone is bringing down my administration single-handedly. No? Kaya siguro gumalaw na siya. Hindi lang niya medyo madiretso, pero I've been hearing words, I've been hearing information or getting information na talagang galit na rin siya. No? At nagkakaroon na rin nga ng mga confrontation. Kaya siguro naisip na niya na he came up with this strongly worded message na mahiya kayo during the SONA para matauhan na silang lahat. And at the same time, siguro ang pinakamaganda niyang gawin diyan kasi with all this information coming in, all these leads, maraming leads yan eh. It's about time siguro na Presidente will now have to designate a lead investigator.
Okay.
Para tuloy-tuloy na. Tuloy-tuloy na.
So, you believe that the President should already choose a lead investigator? Would you be willing to be that lead investigator if a task force is formed?
Sabi ko nga noon, Karen, I'm volunteering to take the lead. Anyway, I've done it before dun sa NIA investigation in 2013 when no less than President Noynoy called me up sa Malacanang. Sinabi niya, I want you to lead the investigation. At nagulat ako dun sa hindi lang pala tip of the iceberg yung na-hit namin. Nagulat kami na ganun pala katindi. It's nationwide yung anomaly na nangyayari sa NIA. And I'm pretty sure na itong flood control and all the other anomalies in lahat ng project, talagang it's something widespread. It's something highly syndicated. Probably that's the best term na magagamit ko. Highly organized and highly syndicated.
Oo. And a viewer right now says that the government should actually ask all the contractors, all the government contractors to submit to the BIR so that the government at least can collect part of the money, right, that was supposedly plundered.
That would probably be the subsequent action. Ang importante muna rito siguro is makuha mo lahat muna yung mga dokumento, especially yung mga detailed unit price analysis. Malaking bagay yung mga dokumentong hawak ngayon ng COA. Because doon din kami nag-umpisa nun eh.
Oo.
Pero alam mo, if you're the lead investigator at hindi mo makompel yung ibang agency na mag-submit sa'yo, yun ang challenge. Kasi noon talaga nahirapan kami noon during the initial phase of our investigation to sa NIA anomalies.
Mm.
Kaya nga humingi pa ako ng additional na authority na talagang i-compel yung ibang ahensya na isubmit sa amin yung kanilang mga dokumento. Kasi doon lahat makikita mo na kaagad doon yung mga kalokohan doon.
Oo. Actually, isa rin kayo, actually nauna kayo. You exposed yung kalokohan ng pagbibigay ng ayuda. So I wanted to ask you about this. So you have Representative Toby Tiangco saying that, I will quote, pag sumama ka sa Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, dun ka daw bibigyan ng 777. Ito 7 million worth of AKAP, 7 million worth of TUPAD, 7 million worth of AIX, 7 million worth of MAIP. Ito yung medical assistance. So he says technically this isn't cash given to you, but it's set aside for you, right? And
Yes.
you were actually offered. You were offered this same amount.
Well, alam mo kasi may totoo yan, Karen, We were also offered. Pero siguro mas lesser na amount kasi
Oo.
ito
Oo.
na yung sa local government na eh. Pero ang maganda nito is, alam mo, nung nilabas ko yan, di ba inaccuse pa nila ako na nagsisinungaling ako at gumagawa lang ako ng istorya.
Mm-mm.
Now, no less than someone in Congress is talking about it and confirming it. Alam mo, hindi lang 777 yan, Karen. Meron pa nga 30 yan eh.
Oh, wow.
30. Kung
30
ikaw ang
million
nag-host,
each. Oh my. Oo.
yes. Kung ikaw ang host, kaya nga nag-uunahan silang mag-imbita eh. Kung ikaw ang host, you get 30, 30, 30. Kaya nga nahirapan yung mismong mga regional directors ng DOH, DOLE at DSWD. Baka ang problema nila kasi is mag-ulit-ulit redundancy.
Mm-mm.
Sila na lang na beneficiary ang lagi na nabibigyan. Kaya kailangan nag-usap sila. Kaya sabi nga ng isang regional director, sa sakit ng ulo namin dyan sa 30, 30, 30 na yan. Sabi nila. Pero alam mo ba na meron ng 777, meron pang 30, 30. Alam mo ba na meron pang 999?
Ano
Meron
naman
pang
999? Ano yun?
Oo. Yung mga certain members of Congress na medyo may position sa kanilang mga organization, sa political party nila, they don't get 777, they get 999. Hinabi na sa akin yan isang beneficiary niyan. Siya na mismo nagsabi sa akin, Mayor, ako nga 999 eh.
Okay. Now,
So ang dami-dami nilang scheme,
Oo, ang daming, is this in violation? One of the budget process of the Supreme Court decision on PDAF? Yan ang tanong ko. Does this scheme violate the Constitution in any way?
Well, it completely, I would say completely, absolutely, And it's something unbelievable na pwede na lang, sumama ka lang, tapos kung sumama ka lang, you get 777
Or 999?
kung 999.
Or
Patapos
30, 30, 30?
per sortie. Per sortie yan, Karen. Paano kung nakaapat ka? Paano kung naka-anim ka? Yung iba nga, naka-anim sila. Until nung nalaman na nung ibang mga member ng Congress na pag sumama ka pala makakatanggap nito, dumami na, nag-volunteer. Kaya ang ginawa nila ngayon, nilimit na lang nila. Sumama ka ng napakaraming sortie but you only get a maximum of 4. So that's still 4 times 21. That's still 84 million.
Yeah.
In terms of AKAP, yung mga yan, MAIP.
So technically, it really smacks of patronage politics. I mean, the lower house has been known for this for years, but would you say this is the worst?
Yeah, and you just mentioned the right word. Marami na ako nakausap na mga negosyante, mga politiko mismo, even people in the religious sector. Sila na mismo nagsasabi na this is probably the most corrupt na kongreso, sabi nila sa akin. Ngay the way they explain it is ibang level ang corruption. Mismo rin na mga tao diyan sa, I would say, sa Malacanang, may nakakausap din ako diyan. Ganon din ang observation ng mga nasa uniform service. Nakakaiba talaga ang level ng corruption.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Now, Mayor, what can the president still do at this point? It is 3 years to go, right? And Senator Sherwin Gatchalian says that the 2026 budget will be an education budget and the golden age of transparency. That one we have to see kung totoo, papayag ba ang mga kongresista na mabawasan, mawala yung kanilang 777, 999, 30, 30, 30. Yan ang tanong, Mayor.
Good point, Karen. Ano? Siguro, unang-una, kailangan i-sustain ni Presidente ito. No? Walang let up. No? Pangalawa, kailangan na niyang talagang magkaroon na talaga ng formal investigation para makagather na talaga ng evidence. Ano? Kasi yung mga pinapadala lang sa kanya, mga kwan pa lang yan, lead. Ano? Kailangan talagang ma-convert mo to into pieces of evidence. At sa huli, ang end result niya dapat may makasuhan. Hindi lang dapat mga kontraktor, hindi lang dapat DPWH, mga politiko dapat. Whether they are members of Congress o kaya sa local government, dapat talaga makasuhan. Regardless kung malapit sa kanya, relative niya, o kaya mga kaibigan niya, kailangan kung talagang mayroong matibay na ebidensya, kailangan may makasuhan. And that's the only way you will get the trust and confidence of the people.
Oo. Huling tanong, last to, no, is when you spoke out against the alleged corrupt practice of etong 777 or etong ayuda pag nag-attend, how did it affect you? I mean, the budget of your city. Madami daw takot kasi pag tinanggal ang medical assistance, lumalapit talaga ang tao. How did it affect you, Mayor?
Well, talagang napakahirap sa akin. Kumbaga, napakahirap kumuha ng pondo. Mabuti na lang may mga mababait na senator na nakakahingi ako. May nakakahingi rin ako ng ayuda kay no less than kay Secretary Rex in terms of goods, yung mga food packs. Mahirap. Kumbaga parang feeling mo pinagtutulungan ka eh. Parang hindi ka pinagkakatiwala ng ibang miyembro ng kabinete. Kumbaga parang pariya, outcast. Pero sabi ko nga, kailangan lang talaga kumisan luluhod ka sa mga senator na lang na kaibigan mo para makakuha ka lang. Alam mo ba yung MAIP na yan? Akala mo siguro yung medical assistance na yan in the form of guarantee letter. Hindi yan. Mayroon ding scheme yan, Karen. In fact, ang hinihingi dyan is mga 30%.
Ha?
Ang ibig sabihin, 30%. Bibigyan kita ng MAIP pero ibalik mo ang 30%. How do they do it? Ang scheme yan is gagawa ng medical mission. During that medical mission, i-jack up lahat. Presyo ng gamot. And at the same time, yung service, i-jack up lahat yan. Para may rebate. Para yung third party na gumawa nun, meron siyang 30% na ibibigay niya. Kung minsan nga nagmamakaawa na yung third party, sasabihin nila, sir, sobra-sobra na rin yan. Mahirap din. Yung 30, habulin yung 30 kasi masasacrifice yung serbisyo. At baka mahuli kami dyan. Kasi napakalaki. Pero yun talaga sige, bibigyan kita ng basta 30 ako. Hindi bababa yung 30. Ganun naka Gahaman, yes.
That's the word.
Gahaman.
Gosh. Yeah. Oo. So, Mayor, I think to end is you still won as mayor, but were services affected in your city, right?
Yeah, napakahirap. This is probably the most difficult na campaign ko. Kasi marami pala akong kalaban dito, lalo-lalo na hindi lang pala yung kalaban ko rito, yung isang congressman na tumatakbong mayor. Pati pala yung mga kasamahan niya na sumusuporta sa kanya. Nakapareho niya. At kalaban ko rin pala rito, kaya napakalaki na kanilang pondo rito. Pero mabuti na lang, they were not able to sway yung mindset at yung integrity ng mga tao dito sa Baguio City.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we don't have enough time, but I want to thank you so much for joining me today. You've revealed a lot. And I think in the end is you will work if the president assigns you. You will take the lead in investigating. You will take it if he offers you. Is that fair?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Karen. Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
All right. On that note, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, thank you for joining me today.